So we're here today at the Central Highlands Regional Council truck wash, underbody wash, the Parthenium Washdown Bay. This is the Emerald facility. It's located at the Batt Street Sale Yards opposite the Emerald Depot. I'm going to explain to you a couple of the things with regards to this facility and what the main purpose of it is and how to use it correctly. So today we've got a truck out here using the facility, going through the processes of cleaning his decks and all the rest of it. The truck wash is ideally for the purpose of washing down weed seed and preventing the spread of weed seed throughout the region. Most of the users that get up there, they'll wash their decks down after cart and cattle, go through that process and then go around to the rest of the truck and wash down the areas there. So appropriate use for this unit, this facility, or any of the other number of facilities that we have throughout the region, is to wash your decks, get as much of the waste out of there as you can, drop it down to the lower decks, down onto the ground, and then go around all your wheel arches and your wheels and hose that down to try and prevent the weed spread. So ideally, at the completion of cleaning your truck, you'll go through and you'll hose down the rest of the facility where the concrete pad is and wash all that waste into the pit where that waste will be contained and hopefully dry off, provided that the facility is working correctly. What we need from the people that use these facilities is to make sure that when they do use them, that they treat them appropriately. That means not washing rags, cans, bottles, pieces of metal, bolts, grease tubes, all those sorts of things that we can find in that tank. Those things get into the tank, get sucked into the pump, cause the pump to malfunction, break, burn out, all that sort of stuff, and it means that the pit will overflow, backflow, and potentially break down the pump, and that's one of the biggest issues we have with this facility. One of the other issues we have is the hose. So when you finish up, not putting the hose in a position where it's out of the way of other users, they drive over the hose, they drive over the nozzle, break the nozzle head, we have to replace those heads. That becomes a very costly exercise for us. Those heads are between $20 to $45 to replace, depending on the quality of head that we put on there. So averaging a replacement head probably once a month, depending on how they're treated. Some of the simple things we ask that people consider when they're using these facilities is to make sure the hose is put away out of the road of any vehicles that might drive over the facility so that we avoid splits, breakages and other fatigues of the hose. Try not to drop the nozzle onto the ground. Try not to drive over the nozzle. If you see it on the ground, pull up beforehand, move the hose out of the road, and we have less chances for breakages and all the rest of it. And please don't wash your rubbish into the pit, because once it gets into that slop and that mess, it makes it difficult for us to identify it. It goes straight into the pit, gets sucked into the motor burns out, motor breaks, and we're down for any number of days, weeks, maybe months, because getting those pumps at the moment takes a lot of time for them to get here. Don't wreck the gear. Treat the gear like it's your own gear. There's a lot of people that have to use this facility, and if one person doesn't do it right, it wrecks it for everyone else, and we just want that facility to work for everyone.